Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
I don't have an issue with Troy Ave. I think his music is mediocre, and he tried to portray this image that he was making greater music than everybody in the city when he wasn't. You know, it was like a time when Bobby Shmurda was the hottest person in the city. He was trying to say he was the best, trying to take the. You know, I was I had to be the person to interrupt that. So I just feel like he's a fraud rapper. He never was a drug dealer. His dude is just weird. You know what I mean? So that's really it. It's no issues with Troy Ave. What did I do? I bothered him for 5 years, just on social media, just calling him out on different things, you know what I mean? He likes to bully little scrawny white people, but when it come to, dudes this, he think could take him on, he falls back. So I think at this point he decided to attack me after.
A Manhattan rap concert.
The gunfire leads to chaos as concertgoers race to the exits. CBS 2's Janelle Borelli is live in Union Square with more. Janelle.
Well, Mary, those witnesses describe it as mayhem inside. Meanwhile, crime scene investigators have been out here all night. They have been inside of this concert venue, Irving Plaza, collecting evidence. 1,200 people were packed inside, waiting for rapper T.I. to come on the stage when those shots were fired. Panicked concert goers running for cover. Cell phone video capturing the hundreds of people trying to get out, fearing for their lives.
It was a stampede. It was a stampede. Everybody was trying to save themselves.
Screaming, people was just pushing, pulling, grabbing, using people as shields, everything. That's how crazy it was.
The chaos unfolding around 10:15 Wednesday night inside the Irving Plaza concert venue. Investigators say fans were waiting for rapper T.I. to perform when gunfire erupted in a third-floor green room area as opening acts Mano and Uncle Murder were on stage.
When he was about to go on, we saw two people up on the VIP arguing, and then everybody just started running because they heard the shot.
3 men in their early 30s and a woman in her 20s were struck in the gunfire, according to police. One of the men shot in the stomach died from his injuries.
Detectives are still interviewing potential witnesses, canvassing for video, and looking for cameras in the area that could help us identify people that were there that witnessed this scene.
Investigators say there was a security check and a metal detector at the venue, but some at the concert say security was lax.
It was easy that anyone could have gone into there with a bit of peace.
We're looking into that. That's going to be a part of the investigation.
Now back live here at Irving Plaza, that concert venue, they have released a statement saying that the safety of their guests is of utmost importance, but they were referring all questions to the police as this investigation continues. Now, as for the victims, in addition to that one man who was killed, another man who was shot in the chest, he is in critical condition this morning. The other 2 victims, they were shot in their legs. Both of them are stable. Reporting live this morning from Union Square, Janelle Burrell, CBS 2.
Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler. We begin with that breaking news. Police have charged at least one person in last night's deadly shooting at Irving Plaza. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor in our newsroom with more, and the new surveillance video just released by the NYPD. Alice?
Dana, one person was killed last night during a concert for rapper T.I. 3 others were injured. Sources say one of the injured has now been charged. In the video, you're about to see frightened concert goers duck as a man starts shooting.
A door opens and out comes 3 men, one with a gun. You see him take aim and open fire. Police sources say the man in the video with the gun is Roland Collins, a.k.a. Troy Ave. He was also shot in the leg and remains hospitalized. He's charged with criminal possession of a weapon, reckless endangerment, and menacing. 3 other people were shot. 33-year-old Ronald McPhatter was killed. Police are releasing this video, asking the public to help identify the others seen in it. Cell phone video captures the hundreds of concert goers running after the shots were fired inside Irving Plaza Wednesday night. Police say it all began with a fight in the green room where the VIPs were.
It went on for about 5 minutes, the fight, and then someone pulled a gun. and people were shot.
Investigators say some 950 fans were waiting for rapper T.I. to perform. Opening acts Mano and Uncle Murder were on stage.
When he was about to go on, we saw like two people up on the VIP arguing, and then everybody started running because they heard the shots.
There are 5 9mm shell casings recovered in the upstairs of the location.
The question now, how did a gun get past security? Police say they're trying to figure that out since there were metal detectors there and security checks.
It was easy. Anyone could have gone into there with a bit of peace.
NYPD sources say it does not appear the VIP group was checked. Sources say there were 2 shooters. Police say they're monitoring social media to see if there was an ongoing beef that sparked all of this. In the newsroom, Alice Gaynor, CBS.
Jurors found Darrell Campbell guilty of shooting and killing a bodyguard before a concert at Irving Plaza in May of 2016. 3 other people were injured. Campbell, known as Taxstone, will be sentenced next month. Prosecutors say the shooting stemmed from a longtime feud he had with a rapper.
Now, have any of y'all ever heard the analogy, when niggas get to beefing, nobody wins? Now, that's going to be the epitome of this situation. Now, the roots of this story starts in Brooklyn, but as we all know, shit gonna really hit the fan at Irving Plaza. What up, though? It's Shades Popalot. Salute the almighty mob. Now, this is a situation that I would say that I had the ability to watch play out from the very start to the very end. And the one thing I've noticed about it and people's feelings regarding it is they are very split down the middle. To me, it's very easy to look at this situation in its entirety to say that it's just a very fucked up situation. But with a lot of people, when it pertains to situations like this, their immediate action is to choose a side or rush to judgment. And that's totally understandable to me, but at first acknowledge that it's just a fucked up situation. Because what I mean by that is nobody benefited off this situation whatsoever. Actually, everybody involved was actually hurt detrimentally. Now, I'm not really here to go in depth with the details of what actually occurred on May 25th, 2016, as we all seen it played out on the news, social media, and within the legal system. But what I will try to do is tell you a little bit about the person that I feel like is left out or forgotten in this incident, who in my eyes paid the biggest price. And that's going to be a guy by the name of Ronald Banga McPhatter, the 32-year-old BSB associate / Troy Ave bodyguard that would end up losing his life due to the events that would occur on that day in late May of 2016. But I also want to talk about the other 2 people, or the main people you could say, that was involved, who would have their careers changed detrimentally. And with this episode, we're not going to do a whole lot of based on my research, because I really feel like I remember the facts of the situation like they were just yesterday. And I want to say that the first sparks of this inferno will begin several years back when Taxstone, who was pretty much one of the first, what I would call independent podcasters. Some people told me that he had a history working with Combat Jack, but when he came out with the tax season, it was pretty much something new that the audience hadn't really seen, especially from that perspective, as podcasting wasn't as big as it is now. And I want to say that Drink Champs wasn't even out. And I remember being in a debate very recently to where somebody said that they remember Taxstone telling Nori that, hey, you can do it your own self. Not exactly sure how that situation really played out, as now I looked on the internet and today even them two are beefing. But with Taxstone having such a hardline stance as he does on certain situations, I think people like to refrain from giving him his credit. And yeah, somebody might be an asshole to you, but you definitely kind of got to give him credit with the beginning of starting this podcast kickoff of how everybody is running it now. And that's what makes this situation so crazy, because me doing the music and being in the music, I remember Troy Ave from the beginning of his career with Bricks in My Backpack. And he was somebody that was always an independent artist. So they pretty much took the same route in different games and almost reached the epitome of what they was trying to do. And really, depending on who you ask, they'll probably say that both of them crashed out. But just as I stated earlier, no matter how much those two lost career-wise, it really could never compare to Banga or BSB Banga, because he would end up losing his life. And the situation would get so bad and intense after Troy Ave would do an interview with the Breakfast Club that Banga's older sister would go on to say that Troy Ave used her brother as a human bulletproof vest, with his brother saying that Troy Ave needs to have that same energy when they meet up, bulletproof vest and all. After Banga's death, his older brother Sean Duke, who is an anti-violence activist, would say in an interview with DNA Info that his brother worked with him some, but would say that nonprofit work wasn't lucrative and it isn't sexy. But women and rappers and alcohol were more fun and exciting, so he left the community work behind. Sean Duke will refer to Banga as a childhood friend to Troy Ave. Now, Banga grew up in Brooklyn and attended New Utrecht High School, where it looked like he played multiple sports and was even able to go on to be a semi-pro athlete. And it was even said that he had just come home on a $100,000 bail from an incident that would occur a year prior in November of 2015 at Pergola, NYC. Now, in that situation, they would say that a fight erupted between two groups and insults would be traded inside of the bar, where surveillance from the scene would show two men, one of two being Ronald Banga McPhatter, approaching another man by the name of Charles Dunwoody from Corona, Queens, and opening fire on him. Charles Dunwoody would allegedly fire back, and during the mayhem, a 21-year-old woman would be hit with a stray bullet on the corner of West 28th Street and 6th Avenue. Banga and another individual, 33-year-old Goodell Gibbs from Brooklyn, will both be charged, with Gibbs facing the more serious charge of attempted murder. But it was said that Banga would sit locked up until he was bailed out not long before the Irving Plaza shooting. And after the whole situation plays out, and I look at it, with Tax getting 35 years, Troy Ave having to take the stand, and Banga losing his life, shit could be just so different, as Troy Ave was on his way to being one of the top independent artists. Taxstone was making his mark in the podcast game, with the podcast game being as big as it is now. How big would he really be? Would he even be big? And who knows what will be going on with Banga. But it took me so long to touch on this because it's such a touchy subject, but I have to know what are y'all take on this situation, because it seems like everybody has a take. Most of the times we get that Tax was in the wrong for going at Troy Ave, but with him being an outspoken podcaster, sometimes people could call you a hater. And then a lot of people would say that Troy Ave should have left the situation alone. But that's why I got y'all. Y'all let me know what should have happened. What would have let the situation played out totally different. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. Y'all get in the comment box. Y'all run it up. Let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what I got wrong, what gangsters I missed. Tap in with your ace directly. Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until we meet again, y'all know the verdict. Salute the almighty mob.